Paintball 2 Extremes wraps things up in the Rockies today with the usual suspects squaring off in the Super 7, a rapid shooting rapper, and our rockin' rookies getting ready for the road. PB2X plus MPPL equals a hot half hour on OLN.
Well, all right. Hey, everybody, welcome to Paintball 2 Extremes. I'm James Bates, coming to you from the Mile High City where the altitude is high, the air is thin, and the heat, well, it's in triple digits. Yeah, but it's a dry heat, whatever that means. We're about to play some paintball today in the shadow of where the Denver Broncos play some great football. They've won a few Super Bowl rings, and it's only fitting because we're about to bring you this three-ring circus that we lovingly call Paintball 2 Extremes. Now, if you watched the show last week, you got a little taste of what was going on in the Pro Division. And before we kick things off, what do you say we take out a little recap time?
And in the consolation battle, the Oakland Empire and the San Francisco Avalanche got it going fast. In game one, the Avalanche were on the left and Francisco and his Empire teammates on the right, trying to make some big runs, but it was the Avalanche and Big Dave Baines and all of his fans in game one. Then game two, backs against the wall to the Avalanche. The Oakland Empire came out firing, taking guys down off the break, charging hard. And Zach Long and his teammates took game two. So it brought up a big game three. The winner taking home third place in the third place points. Guys sliding and flying all over. Glenn Takimoto and the Avalanche charging hard, taking down guys like Billy Sullivan and the Oakland Empire. Takimoto moving up, our cameras got involved. And when all the paint was wiped off, it was the Avalanche, the team that came to town third in points on the season. They took home the third place victory from the Denver MPPL.
So with those two down, there's only two left gunning for all the gold here in Colorado. And with all the details, here's my buddy Jen Pierce.
James, it's no surprise who we're going to see here in the final round of the professional division, Dynasty versus Excessive. While Excessive has done very well this season, they still have to play flawlessly if they want to come out on top. Later on in the show, we'll show you a preview of that final round. But first, we've got the latest, the greatest, the dirt.
Well, Jen, your friends seem pretty happy, and so are four new faces showing up around the infamous camp.
They're legends. I mean, these are people that you've read about, heard about, you know, just the rumors are made about. And to play with them is great.
I used to watch them play, try to mimic how they play, and every time I play, I try to learn and figure out what they do.
They just keep it going, you know, you mess up, you know, you find your mistakes. They're right there to pick up on them, you know, tell you what you did wrong, you know, that's how you learn.
We practiced 3 days and went whitewater rafting and hiking to get the bond, gel.
And one of the longest running events in the sport, the International Amateur Open, is now running under the MPPL sanction.
This year we've decided to go full-blown with our sanctioning of the event and offering series points for divisions 2 and 3.
It's great news that the NPPL is officially involved in their International Amateur Open. And we will be right in the middle of that next week, even with a special Dukes of Hazzard scenario game. Those kinds of events can get a little crazy. And while people like to dress up in costumes, others like to wear a little bit more of a tactical outfit. So here's a quick 60-second look at some of those outfits. Wonder if they got any Daisy Dukes in camo, you think?
I'm here to introduce the new 2005 TCS line, designed for today's recreational and scenario paintball player. It comes in 3 styles, urban, desert, and jungle. The jungle is designed to blend into the woods in greens and blacks. The desert is designed to blend into the desert with browns and yellows. And the urban is designed to blend into an urban environment in shades of gray and black. Unlike traditional camo you buy in a sporting store, these PCS pants come with an extra padding around the knee and 6 extra cargo pockets for all your stuff. Plus they come in jungle, urban, desert, and black. In addition to jerseys and pants, we also have hats, t-shirts, and other accessories, including the Combat 68 Paintball, which comes in 3 colors: urban, jungle, and desert. Join the PCS Army today. The Pursuit Combat Systems line will make a huge difference in your game.
And out the gate they go. Before we get going on the Clash for the Cash, what do you say we take Jen Pierce up on her little offer to give us a scoop on some of the top teams? Here she is.
The top 2 teams in the professional division continue to separate themselves from the rest of the pack. Excessive at number 2 and Dynasty at number 1 are head-to-head to claim that number 1 rank. What do they have to say about playing each other?
It's not a big shocker. The 1 and 2 teams are going to play for first here.
We scout all the teams. We know, we try to figure out what they're going to do. We know their different game plans, and we have different game plans. We don't just have one.
You have to dictate the game to them. I think if you give them 5 seconds to control the game, you're lost.
We just need to play slow and smart. If we make it past the breakout, even bodies or up bodies, I think we have a really good chance. We can usually pick off the front couple guys fairly quickly, but then they kind of counter by doing the same thing, and then we get a little over-aggressive.
If you make them change their play, come off of their play, make them totally switch off of what's in their head when they first start the game, they're off their game. Then we make our moves and finish the game.
We bring more paint because we know that they're going to try to drag it out as long as possible, and we don't mind that. We can drag it out as long as possible, too.
We have to play perfect. Anything less than that, and you don't go home with the win. It's as simple as that. You have to play perfect.
Well, now that you know a little bit more about our top teams, I bet you're extra amped to see them in action. We'll have that action for you when we come back on Paintball 2 Extremes. It's game 1 of our championship match. Stay right there.
Stay on top of the paintball scene. Subscribe to Paintball 2 Extremes magazine. Get player interviews and tournament coverage in every issue. Paintball 2 Extremes magazine will keep you informed of the hottest players and the hottest gear. Plus, you'll get product reviews and expert tech tips in every issue. That's 12 issues of non-stop coverage for only $19.95. Call 1-800-PAINTBALL to order by phone or order online. Paintball 2 Extremes magazine. Get in the game.
Paintball 2 Extremes is brought to you by Empire, innovation, dedication, domination. By Bob Long, creator of the legendary Intimidator and Defiant markers. And by Paintball 2 Extremes, covering the game.
Hey, back at you with a little Paintball 2 Extremes. Shouldn't you guys be doing the wave or something? Aren't you fired up?
Yeah, let's watch the final game. What do you think?
Yeah, getting ready to watch the final game. You're right. And you're on Paintball 2 Extreme?
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Before we get to that final game, though, we're going to go check in with probably one of you guys' heroes, put them right in our sights in the line of fire. No, not me. Another one of your heroes. No.
LB Fowl with Infamous. What is your real name?
My real name's Brian Fowl, but when I started playing, I was real small, like 11, 12 years old, and there was another guy that we used to play with on my first team. His name was Brian, too, and he was huge. I played football for the University of Michigan, so he was Big Brian, and I was Little Brian.
What's your marker?
I use a Bob Long Intimidator and Alias. Also using a 2K5 Dragon, which is also an Intimidator.
Do you have any special traditions or anything that you do before a game to get ready?
You know, I don't get too crazy. Some of the guys, you know, everyone's got their own thing. A lot of people like to jump around, hit themselves, and get a little nuts. Just never been my thing. More of a kind of just stay focused, just try and keep everybody else focused while they're all going crazy.
Do you have any special music you like to listen to get pumped up for the games?
Yeah, I typically listen to like a lot of Pearl Jam, a lot of Incubus before games.
Do you have any tattoos?
I have one tattoo in the middle of my back. I got one, and then my dad got one, and my brother got one, and then both my sisters got one, so.
Now, what's the deal with La Soya?
You know, what can he say? I mean, he's an incredible player. He's probably the biggest name that paintball has ever seen at this point. There's some other big names out there. He's a great guy.
How about the ponytail?
I don't know. We're trying to get him to cut the ponytail.
Is all his strength in his ponytail? Like if he cut it, he's just done.
Because he's convinced that if anybody ever removed it or cut it, he would do very, very bad things to them.
Can you stand the suspense? Have we kept you waiting long enough? Do you want to see the finals in the professional division? Did I ever tell you about the first time I played paintball? Some friends of mine from work called and they wanted to see if I wanted to go, and I said sure. I didn't really know what to wear, and so I called. I'll tell you later. Let's go check in with the action.
Well, thank you, Miss Jen. Earlier, we heard from these two teams and how they felt about playing each other again and how they thought this game would go. Let's see who's wrong and who's right. Excessive on the right, and on the left, DYNASTY Dynasty in the blue.
Yeah, huge heavyweight battle going on here. Dynasty pretty much been walking through everybody all year. They look a little lethargic coming out here right now. Excessive hungry. They've been taking second place to Dynasty almost all year. They're coming out really hot right now.
Well, two guys making a move. One guy makes the snake, and there goes the guy from Dynasty in the blue in the back, making a move to the back corner. One guy going back to the box wearing the blue.
Nicky Kuba holding it down, shooting cross field. Looked like he got him elimination, making him a move to the second Dorito. Nicky been around a long time, and this excessive team definitely been paying their dues the last couple of years.
Oh, Frazee hitting the elbow. He sees it and plays on.
Oh, the ref's all over that. Looks like the ref's going over. Let me see. Looks like he's pulling Oliver Lang on a 1-for-1. That's not going to help Dynasty's cause at all here.
Not at all. Frazee's arguing. Lang can't figure out what's going on. They both go back to the box, and boom, down goes Fregosa.
Oh, excessive just pushing it here. They saw the 1-for-1 happen. They're coming down, hanging that flag. I'm not even sure they lost a player in this game.
Well, you can be pretty sure it's 100-0. Nicky Kuba and company. John, as they take this one home, winning game one. Wow, the crowd is loving it. So is Excessive. High five in game two coming up later in the show.
According to my sources, Denver is supposed to be a cool, comfortable 72 degrees. Yeah, we're just a tad bit over that, and with this triple-digit temperature, I had to go find some relief. But sometimes the key to cool is who you hang with. I am here with Be Real of Cypress Hill. Paintball player, huh?
Yep. Team Stoned Assassins is my team behind me and everything, and we're competing right here in Denver. Super 7, we've been competing for like 3 years.
Now, what about the music industry? Do they know you play paintball?
Yeah, they've been catching wind, you know, and I've been trying to get other you know, celebrities to get involved. You know, a lot of celebrities are playing now, but not on the tournament level yet. They're still playing the scenario stuff. We played an exhibition match against Lincoln Park last year in Huntington Beach, was it? Yeah, we played against them. So they play. They're pretty good. And you know, Will Smith plays, Mekhi Phifer plays. Franklin Gary Gray plays. He's a director. He did a lot of big movies. He plays. Joaquin Phoenix, we just seen him playing on our practice field a couple weeks ago. So there's a lot of people, you know, getting involved, you know.
As we close here, you got to give me a little sampling so the crowd out there gets their Be Real fix.
Oh, wow.
On the spot.
Wow. A freestyle. Oh, my God.
I'll do it like this.
We just got off the field popping caps, and I'm sitting in my hood, and she wants me to rap. Right here, we are the Stoned Assassins, and if you're in the wrong bunker, your gets blasted.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Cypress Hill. Jen gets a freestyle serenade from Be Real, and I miss it. Hey, you guys stay put, because when we come back, we'll get more of Dynasty and Excessive, and we'll have a tip for you on sponsorship.
you want to stay on top of the paintball scene, subscribe to Paintball to Extremes magazine. Get player interviews and tournament coverage in every issue. Paintball to Extremes magazine will keep you informed of the hottest players and the hottest gear. Plus, you'll get product reviews and expert tech tips in every issue. That's 12 issues of non-stop coverage for only $19.95. Call 1-800-PAINTBALL to order by phone or order online. Paintball to Extremes magazine. Get in the game.
All right, having a good time on OLN. Got some paintball. OLN, you got Paintball to Extremes, and we're having a good time in the Mile High City. All the big names are here. Be Real, LaSoya, the Canute brothers. You know, the only person that's missing is Louis Ballast, huh? Yeah! Oh, you don't know who Louis Ballast is? Shoot. He was only granted the trademark of the first cheeseburger in 1935. That's who Louis Ballast is. He's from Denver, too. Now you know, and now you're going to know some other stuff as we answer some questions for you.
My name is AJ, and I was just like to ask pros, how do you get more sponsorship?
Hi AJ, my name is Ryan Greenspan from Team Dynasty, and the best way to get sponsored is to start small with your local fields and your local stores and getting good with them and start promoting them and showing what you can do for them. And then from there, you start winning local tournaments, and then it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you go national, and then everything snowballs from there, and you know, you end up sitting in the pro tents with Dynasty.
Okay, so James grilled you with this cheeseburger quiz, and now you've had an expert answer your riddle me this question. So I've got a question. James, what's going on with the Super 7?
Well, Jen, funny you ask, because we'll tell you what's happening with the Super 7. We've got Dynasty on the right, the bad boys of the sport in the Pro Division, and on the left, Excessive. Excessive took Game 1 here in the Pro Division, and looking good at the start of Game 2. Fragoza hit and loses his hopper on the breakout for Dynasty. Excessive on the left in the yellow and in the blue. Making a move right now is Dynasty.
Yeah, Dynasty trying to get back in this game. Usually when they lose something, they bounce back really strong. These kids have been playing together a long time, but Excessive, hungry for that first win in the NPPL. They've been the bridesmaid all year pretty much.
Trying to get that monkey off their backs. Nikki Kuba and company trying to move, make something happen here in Denver at the NPPL Super 7. Such a huge event. Would be so sweet to take home a win. They win this one and they win the championship in our best of 3.
Yeah, Dynasty trying to get back into this. It looks like they lost their composure in the first game. Oliver definitely not happened. Got pulled on a 1-for-1 for Alex playing on, and he's trying to get back in. Oh, there goes Nikki.
Look at Nikki. Bunkers Alex Frazee.
Right.
Frazie's upset.
Back of the head. That's gotta hurt.
Excessive losing the snake player. Frazie's still complaining about something, and here comes Excessive.
Yeah, Alex looked like he's complaining that he shot the snake guy, but Nikki bunkered him clean for sure. You got Ollie and the snake, though. You can't count Dynasty out with a player like Ollie there.
Ollie Lang.
Oh,
about
not
to get
there for
taken
long.
Out. He gets bunkered too. Excessive. They did it fast in Game 1, fast in Game 2, and they've got a championship and the monkey off their backs here at the Denver NPPL Super 7. Hugs all around and cheers to boot.
Yeah, you can see Excessive very excited here. These guys have been working really hard and taking second place at Dynasty all year. These guys have finally taken their first championship, beaten Dynasty 2 in a row very convincingly.
Soaking it all in, and now Jen's hanging with the guys that hang the flag.
Rich, you guys finally took it, Dynasty. How were you able to finally do that? I know you had to play perfectly. Did you do that?
Yeah, we did. I mean, we didn't play perfectly, but we played as well as we can. Everyone finally played up to par all game long. I love these guys, man. It was awesome. We've been winning in Europe all year long, and we beat Dynasty all last year, but not when it counted. This year they beat us at Tourist 2 events, and man, it feels real good.
Well, they're packing the house here in the shadows of the Mile High Stadium. And you know, it's the dream of the NPPL Super 7 organizers to one day play inside these great big stadiums, and the sport keeps growing and growing. And if the record crowd and their enthusiasm is any indication, that's another market that you can check off as being paintball fans.
Turned out to be a pretty good weekend. The guys are shooting good. Weather's nice. We got a little cloud covers, keeping us good here.
The entertainment. I enjoy the speed. The sportsmanship is just awesome, and I'm out here watching the best teams in the world go at it.
Tell me, are you having fun?
Fun.
Being able to interact with professional players. Me and my fellow classmates or cadets, we play for Air Force Paintball, and
It's really nice to be able to talk to them, interact with them, ask them questions about what it's like to play pro.
Tell me what's been your favorite part about this weekend?
You. All right. Appreciate you, man. You're a lifesaver. Do I have it made or what? I'm going to go chill in the shade, drink a little bit of lemonade, read a little Paintball 2 Extremes, the magazine. You watch the show, you read the mag, you're set. Here's what's going on in the mag right now.
If you want new product reviews or coverage of the European Millennium Series or all the news from the Northeast Open, then the November issue is just the ticket. Get your copy and get informed on all the news in paintball.
If you want to stay on top of the paintball scene, subscribe to Paintball 2 Extremes magazine. Get player interviews and tournament coverage in every issue. Paintball 2 Extremes magazine will keep you informed of the hottest players and the hottest gear. Plus, you'll get product reviews and expert tech tips in every issue. That's 12 issues of non-stop coverage for only $19.95. Call 1-800-PAINTBALL to order by phone or order online. Paintball 2 Extremes magazine. Get in the game.
Paintball 2 Extremes is brought to you by National Paintball Supply, #1 supplier to the #1 extreme sport. By Diablo, play with fire. And by Paintball 2 Extremes, covering the game.
Welcome back to Paintball 2 Extremes and all of our doings in Denver. And even though we are in the evil tent now, I promise they're not evil doings. They're good things, like the good times back in the 1800s here in Denver. All the prospectors in this boom town mining for gold and then silver. The NPPL players that have been in town this week taking home some precious metals themselves. We're about to stretch run. What do you say we check in with Jen? She lets us know where everybody stands.
With Excessive's dominant destruction of Dynasty in Denver, the season point standings have tightened right up, with only 3 points separating the teams at the top. San Francisco Avalanche has a solid hold on third, but there is quite a scrap for fourth place. The greatly improved Oakland Empire holds a slim 1-point lead over DC Arsenal, who is locked in a tie for fifth place with the slumping Portland Naughty Dogs.
So with Dynasty's once dominant points lead now dwindling, we should have a great second half of the season. But now let's check in one more time with our buddies from PB2X Factory and see how they are doing as they prep for their first tournament.
After several intense weeks of practice, and with the International Amateur Open only days away, the PB2X Factory crew took a moment from their hectic preparations for a brief ceremony.
I made the jerseys up. It was a really good time actually bringing them in, having them sit down and, giving them their jersey, welcoming them into the PB2X family.
And once the team had their new uniforms, there was time for one last practice game. And the reality of taking a 3-week wonder to a major tournament struck home to first-year player Mike Luttenberger.
I think probably the biggest part of the jitters that I got was that we really haven't scrimmaged anybody the past 3 weeks. I mean, we all, nobody knows each other. We all came together 3 weeks ago, and we haven't scrimmaged anybody but each other.
All that was left was one final chance to sit down together to plan for what lay ahead.
Get up in the morning, we walk the field, we have our hotel, we can chill, maybe take a dip, eat lunch, relax, go over all the plays, go over the field a few times throughout the day, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody's just playing to win, and everyone is playing together as a team, and that's, basically what we wanted to accomplish.
Now it's time for the long haul to Pennsylvania, and we'll ride along with the rookies in next week's episode.
What are you kidding me? For the first time in 3 shows, we've been talking about the heat the whole way through, but go out on the turf and it's like 10 degrees hotter. These guys, man, they've been troopers through it all, and please don't bring that heat up to Pittsburgh, because that's where we are. Next stop, as the NPPL takes the show on the road, it's IAO from just outside of Pittsburgh. That's where we'll be for the next 2 weeks on Paintball 2 Extremes. Won't you join us? For Jen Pierce, I'm James Bates. We'll see you then.